What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be checking out a title called Lost in the Open. This game just went up on sale this week on Steam in early access for about $15 or $16 from what I saw when I took a look at the Steam page. This is a game where you are a king that's summoned to a great council. Like, imagine for a moment that you're summoned to the Council of Elrond, and when you get there, everybody pulls out knives and tries to stab you to death. Strong possibility that you might be an asshole. I don't think that that happens to nice people, but just assuming for a second that it does happen to a nice guy, that's basically the premise of this game. You are in foreign lands, everybody else just tried to jump you and murder you at a diplomatic meeting. You managed to escape with the help of your bodyguards through a secret passage, and now you are fleeing through the hinterland, hoping to survive while all the nations of the world are trying to hunt you down and murder you. It's pretty intense. I think it has a lot in common with Battle Brothers as of right now with respect to the way that the strategy battles play on out. From what I've seen so far playing for the last hour and a half, the game does have a lot of variety, it does have a lot of events, it does have a lot of upgrades and level ups and things of that nature that make each run feel distinct as you go on through, as well as a pretty significant army building component. So let's dive on in, let's play for about 30 minutes and see if we have a good time with it. The link to the game is down below. There's also a bunch of spicy Nerd Castle saucy links down there just in case you wanted to engage in the sweet and savory, but let's go ahead and start a new game. Here we are on the outskirts, having just made our escape. I skipped the intro just because you guys saw this already when I covered this game in demo format like last October or last November. I don't remember when that was, but anyways, you can go watch that video real fast if you wanted to see the intro. It's just a bunch of dialogue that I would have to read anyways, describing what was happening. There's not going to be any like artwork, there's not going to be like any animation or anything else like that, but we have suffered a grievous wound that has left us weak and vulnerable. Battling in this state is likely to prove fatal. Stay vigilant. You may find hope in those whose own interests require you to be alive. Okay. So what we have here is we have a wireframe grid. Our goal is to get the hell away from the city and travel as far to the north as we possibly can to get back to our own country. If you've ever seen the movie The Warriors, this is kind of like that. We're the Warriors and Cochise and all those guys that are trying to get back to Coney Island right now. Different nodes are going to have different things that occur to your character when you get there. There's things like combats, battles, shops, all things of that nature. And then on top of that, we've started out with our king, and we've started out with 2 extra soldiers here who are helping us out, our bodyguards that survived the ambush. However, we are all wounded right now, and so we're going to want to kind of take it easy when it comes to combat and fighting if we can manage it. They start out with randomized abilities. You will want to go through and kind of check these and see what they do. It sort of depends what you get on each run, but that does make the game feel very fresh each time that you play through, that your bodyguards are a little bit different from what I've seen on a couple of different restarts. On top of that, you'll also get access to other passives and things that come up randomly when you level up, and so character building definitely like a reasonably solid chunk of this game that gives it that nice little breath of freshness in there that keeps it from getting stale. I will probably take a battle first. Let's go do combat real quick, because good news is there's a recruitment station right there, so we can get more units. That's right. We are not stuck with the 2 characters that we have. This expands out right here on this UI, and you can get yourself like a big old army of guys that are following you around. Everything from pikemen to macemen to archers to rogues to duelists to ninjas, you kind of name it. You see figures crashing through the foliage towards you. You hold your ground. Strathian soldiers burst from the tree line, their numbers bulked out by polynomian mercenaries poised to attack. Their approach is mathematical. Okay, so we've got 2 guys over here. This is what combat looks like. It takes place on kind of like an 8-sided grid with your character being able to face in any direction. The little rings that are around our guys' feet right here are basically their areas of defense. If you're in the white area, you're good. All of your blocking and your dodging and everything else count for your character. If you're in the black area right here, that means that you can move without taking an attack of opportunity, but otherwise you're still kind of like partially defended. And then if you're like in the red area, you take double damage. And so you definitely don't want to get hit from the red areas, which infuses this game with definitely the vibe of fighting and sort of like these line battles while pushing and prodding and poking and attempting to get your enemy into a position with their flanks and whatnot that you can kind of punish them for mistakes. Right now we have the enemy outnumbered, I think. It looks like they're going to go for the king. which is really something I would rather not have happen, because if the king dies, our little quest here is over. And so instead, what I may try to do is we may try to tackle over here. Yeah, let's tackle this guy and see if we can work him. Well, I can't move around that tree right there. You do bulwark, I suppose, to give yourself some higher defensive stats, and then you step back to here, face that way, and then raise your shield. Okay, that'll work. He may step... No, he can't because there's a bush right there. Very nice. Okay, so we should have the king protected right now. I've been dazed, and it looks like they're both going to dogpile on this guy. The good news about that is that it's actually going to work out for me pretty well because now I can force them into being exposed. So let's go over to here, attack him from behind with double damage. We did 14 damage to his gray meter. In this game, you have two different meters. You have armor and you have HP. You can't really damage the HP until you get through the armor, so get to bludgeoning. You want to concuss these guys about as hard as you possibly can. This guy right here, we could shield bash a guy back to eat up his time, but instead we're going to have him throw down strong because his ability right here occasionally has a chance of clunking this dude and making it so his accuracy gets reduced by a whole bunch. So he's got his block up anyways. We should be able to avoid a lot of the damage here. You guys move down this way. Keep flanking around him if you can manage it. He's actually got a decent position right now from which he can fight us because he can get his white side to both sides of us, unfortunately, which kind of sucketh. If I can get this guy's turn and shift him down to here, we'll be in a much better position. I was not able to pull that off, and we just got shattered in one turn. Not great. Okay. You move down to here. You move down to his blind spot, get some serious damage off on him. You continue attacking right here, and then shift your facing so that it's like that, so that you're defended along your sides. And then we just gotta kind of like hope and pray right here. Our mercenary may die. He may be having a terrible day. You get over here and start putting some damage on him. King may have to do a little bit of tanking here in order to make this whole thing work. But we are in and around this guy's flank right now. You maybe shield bash him. You missed with the shield bash. You missed with everything. That's real unfortunate. You continue attacking on that side. Oh, but it didn't turn out to be enough, so we're kind of like exposed right now. We got one guy that's about to go down. Block up, and then we'll see how... Oh, really? Okay, well, for whatever reason, the AI decided not to finish us off right there. Our king, who is not doing a great job at attacking right now, unfortunately, is in a bad position. We got 2 damage off right there, but time's gonna tell if we survive this thing. That's fine. Beat on the king. I'm cool with it. We finally finished off the enemy right there, just barely scraping by, but as you can see, this is a game with a lot of lethality, where a couple of back-to-back crits like that guy got can basically end your run in one go. You've got to be very, very careful, and even being careful, there's an element of randomness to the game that just cannot be accounted for, where sometimes you've got like your block ability up, sometimes you've got your facing squared away, and just like in Battle Brothers, you get critted to the head at the wrong moment, and down you go. You claim victory over your assailants and search through their bodies. 33 gold, 9 materials, 3 medical supplies, and 13 food. Very nice. I think what I'd like to do for right now is let's go to the recruitment event because I need to let these guys heal for a minute anyways. Every time we take a step on the map, everybody's gonna heal up, and so we gotta bide our time a little bit before the next fight because this second guy right here is about to go down. You find a large encampment. The tent's organized, uniform in color and design. Clover green with the emblem of the now defunct Polynomian League sewn into the... I'm calling them the Polynomian League from now on just because it's funnier that way, all right? A camp of freelancers from the northern kingdoms. You enter the camp greeted by the sounds of combat training in a foreign tongue. It seems that you're not the first of the camp's visitors. A Polynomian speaks casually with a smith, a traveling forge set beside him. We can actually... Okay, so this was not a recruitment... Oh, it is a recruitment spot, but it's a recruitment with a blacksmith. So a number of the upgrades and things that you can do with your character in this game. So everybody in this game has kind of like slots on their armor. Then you can use attachments onto their outfit in order to customize their strategy and how they work their way through the game. So for example, I have 31 of these right here. I can't really do anything right now, but assume for the moment that I could, you could actually take the little attachments down here and add them onto the armor, which would give him 25 health and 5 protection rating, which is just flat damage mitigation. Whenever he gets hit, he takes 5 less damage for the rest of our run. Likewise, you can do the same thing with your weapon, although with your weapon, it typically adds more crit. It adds like dodge negation. It will add things like bleeding chances with serrat blades and things of that nature. Up to you what you want to do to customize, but what I'd like to do right now is I would like to recruit some more guys. So we can get Nezith, the shield bearer. There's also a shield bearer over here. We could pick up an enforcer, which is kind of like a lighter version of the shield bearer, but still pretty heavy with regards to his stats. Or we could get a Maulman, a guy that just bashes guys to death. We can recruit 2 guys right here. Oh, that's tempting. We also want to go through all the traits on this character. So going through all the traits on this character, you want to buy characters that have a lot of traits that are like positive and give them bonuses and boons to attacking. So for example, this guy has Gap Finder. Attacks with the flail ignore block rating and all defensive effects from shields. That makes him a very, very nice counter to anybody that's rocking a shield. He's partially blind though, which means that he misses a lot, and he's prideful. So it looks like if he doesn't get the first kill, his stats get nerfed, so we don't want to play with that. This guy right here is unpredictable, but he has a chance to stun the enemy whenever he hits them. These guys don't have much going on. They just have the default stats. This guy right here has Alert, though, which just flatly gives him higher initiative. And then this guy right here has more accuracy. He's also got Gap Finder. So I think we take Nezith. That's what I'm thinking. The accuracy rating, that's going to be one of those things that's going to be indispensable. Because if you've ever played Battle Brothers, getting your attack rating up to the level where you consistently hit enemies from the front and you hit them even harder from behind tends to be a really good play. So we'll add him to our overall arrangement of guys, and then we'll move up to this event right here. Hopefully, it's not a battle. You hear a voice calling for help. You search for it confused, and when you find nothing, it calls out again beneath you. A man stuck in a deep earthen hole. The man explains he was to a trap and injured his leg in the fall. He begs for your help. We can rob him. We don't have a rope in our inventory right now to pull him out of the hole. You can get supplementary items like keys, shovels, pickaxes that will give you a much better resolution to a lot of your events, but we don't have those yet. Search for a solution. You pace around the surrounding area and find a sturdy branch of oak, long enough to reach the man. Returning to the hole, however, you see a group of armed men standing around it, laughing at the victim of their trap. They see you approach and draw their weapons. Not great, because we're pretty beat up right now, and so I would rather not fight anybody at this moment, and I can virtually guarantee you they're going to focus on my wounded guy. I think for now, we're going to have to join the combat pretty aggressively. He's got the equivalent of 60 HP. I don't want to commit him to combat just yet if I don't have to. So let's move up to here like so. And we'll face that way, and then we'll put up bulwarks so that we have higher block stats. When being aggressive, I very much prefer... I'm going to skip his turn for right now. And then our flail guy, we're going to step him in aggressively. So he's going to pin, and then the king is going to do his thing. That's fine. The archer usually doesn't do that much damage. Range damage in this game tends to be kind of weak. Yeah, it tends to not get through armor, and so you gotta bleed on me through my block? That shouldn't be a thing. Let's go ahead and just square up with this guy real quick. We got him muddled, so that's good. You can right-click on any character in this game, and it'll tell you what their stats and debuffs and everything else are. So that's fine. You start looping around this way as well. I'm going to kind of use you for a cheeky attack when and where I can get it. We'll go ahead and flail this guy up for just a minute. And then I'm going to try and wheel and deal the king around the best that I can to get into his blind spot. Archer's away. Ugh. Bleed's really getting us into trouble here. Just brawl with him. He's a weaker class of unit, so we should be able to do something there. Maybe pull up behind him to give him a force multiplier and help him right there. On this side, go ahead and put up your block and then get him with one little love tap right there. I don't like that I'm getting status effects when I block abilities. Like, that should not be a thing. The ability did not connect. It did not strike me. So why am I taking a penalty for having been struck? You know what I mean? Although that first one did say absorb, so it's possible that I got hit by it, but my armor rating was so high that I took 0 damage from taking the strike, but the status effect went in. You run down the archer. Put some pressure on him. Okay, King's taking a little scuffing right there. You step over to here and get double damage crit. Hell yeah. Do not fall for it, though, because if I move over to here, what he's going to do is he's going to face this way, and then both of my guys are going to be kind of like locked into that spacing, and so just get some extra damage off on him right now. Archers should try to run away, and so they should take attack of opportunity whenever they try to get out of here. Let's go for a kill over here. No crits, unfortunately. Was desperately hoping I'd get a kill right there. Get him behind him and finish him off, and then move to get the archer. You continue to put heat on him. King's armor, he made it through, but he missed the last swing, which is good for us. Move the king up to there. Get him with a 20 damage hit from behind. Okay. He's got more range than I expected. You move up to here, get him with another hit right there. Just surround and pound, baby. That's the name of the game. If you can get up there and get damage off, I'm cool with it. He should be about ready to fall over. There is no decrease to your performance in this game from being... There we go. King got the kill. Hell yeah. Big hit right there. Missed shot and 1 damage. I can take that. That's fine. We are looking scuffed as hell, though, right now. You get up right there, smack him from the side a couple times. Big 27 damage crit going out, leaving the man's face laying on the curb. That's what I like to see. Keep the king back from any further damage. He's going to run. He's going to be killed by the attack of opportunity. And hopefully we get some decent XP and also loot out of this. Whenever you finish up a battle, you get these little pips for anybody that scored a kill. You get like a baseline amount of XP just for participating in the combat. And then from there, you get like 5 extra bonus XP for every kill that you get during the course of a fight. And so that's how you level guys up. Leveling up in this game, as I said, actually gives you a lot of options. So I'm looking forward to leveling up. With the bandits defeated and stripped of their belongings, you take the branch and return to the trapped man. So these guys gave us a whole bunch of provisions and goodies. That's very, very nice. You lower the branch into the hole, and after several awkward attempts, you pull the man free. Dusting himself off, the man thanks you and then asks for a favor. He says he's a courier and gestures to his leg, which is badly mangled. He pushes a letter into your chest and asks you to deliver it. He hobbles away before you have time to respond. Huh. So we have a message. Does it tell us where that goes? It doesn't tell us where it goes, but it does have a very high monetary value, and it says that it has the sigil of the Strathians on it, which are the guys that keep attacking us, and so we may be able to use it to bluff our way through a situation if it comes up. The enemy is closing with us, but I think I would like to go to this trade event over on this side. Don't worry about that event right there. That event is for a thing that I think is not implemented just yet. It does have very nice artwork. They take you into the forest and they perform a ritual on you, and it heals the king so that he no longer has his debuffs. But I think it's used as like a gateway mechanic for like an endless mode that they're playing around with when the game comes out in 1.0. It's called like ruthless mode or something else like that, or like invulnerable mode. It's got some name like that, like iron something mode, that I'm guessing is either like an endless mode that's meant to be endlessly replayable without the constraints. I don't know. I'm not really sure. This is all just conjecture right now from me on my end, but it's an event that doesn't do anything just yet except for heal your king. You pass by a small caravan of traveling merchants, their carts heavy with wares. Guards surround them. I'll greet them. They return your greeting and offer you a discount on their goods to help lighten their load. Oh, that's nice. Okay, yeah, I could definitely use that. That sounds like the kind of thing that I'd definitely be down for. Do I want to sell this? I'll probably hold on to it and just hope that it's useful to us. We do have a lot of wounds, and so I'd be considerate of spending money on a couple of healing herbs. That way we can actually get more HP back while we're traveling. It might not be a terrible idea to upgrade somebody's stuff over here either, although it doesn't look like there's a lot of things that I could afford the upgrade, but I couldn't afford the follow-up. I like my flail guy. I sort of feel like I want to invest in him. So let's upgrade his flail to the next level. It's now at 72% strength, but he doesn't have any mods or anything that I could actually put onto the weapon just yet. And so we'll probably have to wait and see. Or everything here looks like it's for arrows and blades. And so we may not be able to get those on there for right now. That's fine. We'll go ahead and leave the camp real quick. And then, actually, I probably should have bought ropes and I probably should have bought pickaxes, but that's the way life goes. Let's go to the unknown event and let our HP regenerate a little bit. Unfortunately, we have to go into the next fight. You come across a small, strange hut that's well guarded. They draw their weapons at your approach. One rattles his fist against the hut's door. It opens a slit and a pair of eyes peer out from the darkness within the hut. A frail hand emerges and beckons you inside. You enter the hut and are hit with the stench of mold and something more foul, masked weakly by a strange incense. Several unfamiliar, rust-spotted surgical instruments lie scattered across wooden tables. The man in the hut is frail and thin and calls himself a scientist. He reveals he's been waiting for you as he's been waiting for kings before you. He states bluntly that you can trust him and plainly asks for a vial of your blood. You feel unconvinced when he tells you that the kings before you all did as they were asked. I guess? Ow! The old man cuts your wrist with a knife, slowly filling a glass vial with blood. When it's brimming with your blood, he turns back to the hut and tinkers with a few tools. He returns to you a strange amulet in hand. He extends it to you. The blood amulet. What does the blood amulet do? Is it good? It gives you 10% max health, it gives you a much higher chance to crit, and each killing blow grants 10% health, and this only works if the king is wearing it. So, like, we heal now? Sick, dude. I'll take that. Doesn't give us a heal when we slap it on, which is kind of a bummer, considering we're going into a fight right here. But we'll play it kind of like, we'll play it safe. You find yourself on the border of a large Strathian encampment busy with activity. Further along the camp's edge, you spot two gagged men bound to a tree. Bandits. I approach them. You move along the encampment's border until you reach the captives. Their eyes are trained on you. Free them. You ungag the bandits and slice them free of their bonds. The bandits dust themselves off and take a look at the encampment, then at one another. One of them darts off into the trees. The other hesitates. He offers tentatively his place in your company. I accept it. Yeah, welcome. Archer Garanil has joined your party. Garanil sounds like a drug that you take in order to get, like, anal inflammation to go away. It's like one of those commercials with people, like, running and, like, hugging their loved ones and riding bikes while smiling on a breezy but sunny day. Use Garanil for all of your anal-related problems. Do we want to attack the encampment? Why not, dude? Let's live a little. These dorks tried to assassinate me, and I'm feeling some kind of way about it. We will want to protect the king. Oh, they got a lot of heavy guys, dude. This may turn out poorly. This may be a little bit of an ugly fight. What does he do? Poisoned arrow? Okay, we'll work on that soon when the enemy closes the gap. How far can he move? He can move 4. How far can he move? 5? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He can actually get here. All right, so pull the king back. Let's get a shield wall going back here, and then we'll decide what we want to do with it once the enemy gets a little bit closer. They don't have any ranged guys, which is good-ish, but we'll see. These two-handed guys are a big problem. As you saw in that last fight, these two-handed guys, they hit like a truck. Like, they really, really sting. I don't want to, like, over-invest in the fight just yet. I will move him forward to right there, sort of, as bait. I don't know if I want to pop his defensive yet, though. King, fall back for a second. Archer, you do likewise. Can you hit him right there? You can. Okay, put a little bit of loving on him. You, run your block. You come back down here, protect the king, force them to lump up a little bit. My hope is that they start tripping over themselves once they get over here. Okay. I don't want him to get glomped on super hard. If I put him right there, I'm worried these guys will redivert and surround him. But I also don't want to fight from the front if I can help it. Move to here. Switch your facing. I only have 14 stamina, so I can either block or I can attack the enemy right now. Go for the block. Let's play it super safe because, like, they're healthy coming into this fight, and we, unfortunately, are not. King, move down to here. Archer. Big miss, unfortunately. And follow the king down here just to keep them running in circles. You, on the other hand... Good. We nerfed his accuracy right there. That will be helpful. You raise your shield before this gets any worse. He absorbed the shield bash, unfortunately, but we did manage to break off his armor. He's going to step in. We're going to block his attack. Block right there, too, but they are getting dogpiled a little bit, which is going to be a problem as this goes along. The second that falls off, we're going to have issues. So you get to penetrate through his defense with your flail. That's a very good thing. You poison your arrow and shoot him. A miss. God, dude, these misses. All right, 15's good. I'll take 15. 15's nice. I don't know if I want the king involved in this just yet. Let's move him over to this side, and we'll try to get around behind this guy, maybe on that tile right there, to force this dude to make some decisions about how he wants to get hit. My other soldiers are back up. Let's nerf his accuracy rating. Ah, we missed again, dude. Our accuracy is just miserable. A nice crit right there, though. I'll take that. He's got one turn of blockage left. Oof. Okay, so this guy's going straight through us like butter right now. Let's get him with a little something to spread it around a little bit. Just to put him on notice. King up to here. Big smash right there. Hell yeah, we need to start getting some double damage. What's your... So 42% on these dudes, huh? Why is your aim so bad? So he can get 42... Okay. I guess go for the 85s. Anything that gets armor off these dudes is okay by me. Let's focus on taking down him first. Just to limit the amount of attacks the enemy gets. And we'll hold our facing for a little while longer. He actually diverted his attack for some reason. Okay. He should have focused on him just to deal as much damage as humanly possible, but he didn't. You... We do get an attack of opportunity from right there. Just keep laying into him, I guess. Oh, dude, if we had gotten a double 33 hit right there, that would have been exactly what I needed. Okay, so 85 right here. Let's go for the 85% hits because 3 people focusing their damage on this guy, he cannot hold with that much damage coming down the pipe. There we go. And then you turn your facing over to there to square off with him. And honestly, for a fight that started out on very, very dubious terms... We're kind of turning this around right now. The enemy did get a crit, but, dude, I love that flail ability. Can you get him? Yeah, get him. That would be my piece of advice. So it looks like firing across people does cause you a little bit of a problem in this game. Like, it looks like you get like a 40% accuracy malice. Just keep DPSing. Unless he crits super hard, he shouldn't be able to get through your armor. Yeah. He didn't get through our armor. Let's not block the shot for the archer. Instead, let's just wheel around all the way, and then we'll finish this guy off to the best of our abilities. You go right there. No attack available, but make sure we have our facing squared away. Archer. He's muddled. That's good. 20% accuracy lost. You get in right here. I don't want him to take no more turns, bro. Him taking turns is a big issue for me. Heroic strike right there for the... Ooh, another big crit for the king. Very nice. Put out some arrows. Okay. Bonk. And to sleep he goes, and honestly, we really didn't take that much damage from that fight. I am pleased. And that takes us to our first level up. And so I'll be able to show you what the progression systems look like inside of this game too. We got 4 medical supplies, which is very, very nice. 42 food, 65 gold for that fight. Very nice, dude. Very, very nice. Could not have asked for a better resolution. So when you're ready to level somebody up, they are going to get a selection of things, passive and active, that they can get. So he can learn Provoke. That's a taunt. It forces the enemy to come after you, and it nerfs their accuracy because they're enraged by what you've said about their mother. You know, warriors react negatively to those yo mama jokes. You know, yo mama so fat she sat on Walmart and lowered the prices. Like, they don't like it. It makes their accuracy go down. Surging Strike over here, it looks like on hit it gives you momentum, which increases your damage for 2 turns. That's not bad. You can also take Learning, which I think is also available. It gives you an extra ability point. They have these trees down here that make them stronger, and it gives you another point you can spend in those trees. We can also get Measured, gain 10 accuracy rating per hit taken when you attack, consume all the accumulated accuracy, and reduce the target's protection and dodge rating by half the amount consumed. Okay. I'll probably go with Surging Strike. That sounds nice. On hit, we have a chance to daze the target right there and get more damage, so I'll take that. Turn this guy into a bruiser. These little categories are randomized too. You see how Volkver and Marsky, they have different trees? Yeah. And so, like, your characters can be very customizable in this game from what I've seen so far. Let's go ahead, and I think that was our only level up, so he should be good to go. We have other people that are about to level up. I don't know if I want to take another fight right now, though, so let's just head on down the road. Above the canopy, you see birds circling somewhere ahead. You find yourself in a clearing with the circling birds above you. You see what catches their interest, a dead horse and a dirty man rummaging through the saddlebags, gesturing for you to leave. No? The man snarls as you approach and whistles his fingers. Bandits spring from the trees and surround you. That's fine. We did okay in the last fight. I am on the easiest difficulty right now. So strategically, when you're surrounded, you kind of want to push in one direction. And so that's exactly what I'm going to do. We're going to push in this direction over here. What's his turn? He's going absolutely last. So yeah, let's push towards this guy. He is going to get a shot, which is unfortunate. But we're going to push very, very aggressively in one direction. But we're going to maintain facing towards the archer if we can manage it. Pin this guy down and get an opening hit off on him. He's going to move up. Okay, we want these guys as isolated from their friends as possible. Just pick one and make him the outlier. A little bit of damage went out right there. A little bit of a debuff going out right there too. 40% chance to hit from right there. Let's get him behind him to guarantee the shots. You will also be getting in behind him on the next turn. Just get a big hit off for right now. Oof, 9 damage crit. Okay. We need this guy to die very rapidly because ideally how the strategy would work here is we punch a hole in the bag or the dragnet, then we turn around unified front after they move in to capitalize. So they're going to go tip of the spear trying to get us from behind. We're going to go tip of the spear forward, and then we're going to about face and reverse charge the moment we make it through basically their line over here. And so that's what I'm kind of aiming towards right now. We need as much damage to go out as possible. Momentum is good. The faster he dies, the better this works out for us. Okay. He went for the easy swipes over there. We're going to move him in behind for the 42 damage. Okay. King, you're in a good spot. Finish him off, and then come back around, and we're going to about face the line. Good opportune miss right there. Can you get a shot off from right here? Not a great chance of hitting, but I had to give it a go. It doesn't cost me anything to try. You face maybe... So you move to here and face that way. Put up your block. Get them dukes ready to go. You come down over here. Face. but don't block. Not yet. Oh, interesting. Okay. I see what's happening here. Yeah, you didn't like that, huh? I'm gonna raise this shield on you on the next turn. You're gonna have some big problems, Axeman. Let's go, maybe we get in behind Axeman over here. Yeah, let's get in behind Axeman over here. I'm changing the plan. Pray I don't alter it further. Big dodge, 3 damage. We can soak that. That's no biggie. We got 84 right there, so light them up good. Light them up well for any of the English teachers out there. And let's play bait with this guy. These guys basically have no armor. That leads me to believe they're probably going to hit like a truck when they manage to land a hit. I mean, they haven't really landed a hit yet, have they? From the blind spot, 33 damage right there. Good stuff. Okay. Oh, I was hoping for a kill right there, dude. I was really praying on it. The extra damage we're going to be taking from behind right here, though, is not going to be sustainable. So you go up to here, force him to turn around, nerfed his accuracy, very nice. You stay right where you're at and give him a conflict of interest that he has to deal with. King's very, very wounded, but he should be dead on this turn. Let's advance back this way. We're going to disengage the king from the fight from now on. Why is he regenerating? I am vexed by this regeneration that's occurring. We got a 19% chance to hit from right there. Is it the rock that's doing it? It's got to be the rock that's doing it. Get right there. Ugh, was hoping for a kill. Come on. Okay, chase down the archer. So really, I'll probably do closing thoughts right about now, actually, now that I'm looking at the time clock for the video. Honestly, I think this is a really rad strategy RPG that has a lot of variation and a lot of things that can happen inside of each run. There are things that you didn't even get to see here, like leadership abilities. You have like a codex of leadership abilities that the king gets as you get further on into the game that act as like a secondary skill tree for him that use money as experience. I mean, it's a very, very variable strategy RPG. The main problem I ran into is just that it's buggy as hell. I've had items disappear. We've got reports on the forums of like saves not loading. The developers have hotfixed 5 times in the last couple days, and so they are working on it. So I like this game a ton, but maybe give it a few weeks before you purchase it just to make sure you don't get bit by the bugs, because it seems like they are having some technical issues along the margins of how the game functions. My name is Splattercat. Those are my thoughts right there. Really, really simple. Great game, just needs a lot of bug polishing. I'll see y'all next time. Thank you for hanging out with me while I play Lost in the Open, and tomorrow I'll be back with something else. Thanks, folks.